It's a pleasure to be here to talk with you and share a few observations today about building resilient things. Resilience combines two virtues, toughness and flexibility. Resilient things are tough because they're flexible. My message for you today is that the best way to build for resilience is to go home and break something. Now let's be honest, resilience is not a virtue that most people commonly associate with hardware. For the most part, our gadgets work because we keep them safe. Think of your desk. Your desk is a pretty safe, calm, stable environment for a computer. Your pocket is a little bit tougher, but still pretty forgiving. As we start to put hardware in more and more places, we need to make sure that it's ready for new shocks, pressures, expectations, all of the things that come with new deployments. That means that we need to get serious about breaking things. Let me give you an example from Jawbone. When we re-released the Up band, we started by putting the bands through all the standard industry tests. Then we got creative about breaking them. We went back and developed a whole new battery of tests for waterproofness, stretching, impact, to make sure that every band would be resilient. And it worked. But building for resilience is more than just building individual units. When we do our jobs right, the fabric as a whole will be stronger and more flexible than the individual threads. A resilient architecture uses redundancy and diversity to avoid single points of failure. Some of those backup systems will live in your hardware. Others will live in your software and data systems. The most important ones will live in your people. I've found that good makers aren't just comfortable with failure. Often, they have this morbid curiosity about breaking things. Good makers like to push red buttons. Let me give you an example from Netflix. A couple years ago, they published a project called Chaos Monkey. Chaos Monkey has permission to go through all of Netflix servers and randomly pull the plug on a few of them. This is crazy, right? They're deliberately killing their own production servers. But it works for Netflix because it forces their engineers to anticipate failure and make every single line of code resilient. When you fail early and fail often, you get better at recovering. This is one of the main lessons to come out of Agile software development, and we're starting to see it applied in hardware as well. As the worlds of software and hardware grow together, one of our main tasks is to learn to iterate in smartware the same way that we've iterated in software. And there's been some great discussions about that from this stage and other sessions here at Solid today. Another example from Jawbone. Last year, we deployed an upgrade that improves the battery life of our Jambox speakers. You take your speaker, same old speaker you've been using for months, plug it into your computer, and download a battery upgrade that gives you 2 more hours of battery life, so you can go and take it other places that you haven't been before. We're starting to iterate in smartware. Another example from Tesla. Last year, there were 2 highly publicized accidents where Tesla cars ran over something on the highway. And in each case, the debris punctured the underside of the car where the batteries are stored, and a fire started. Nobody was seriously hurt, but Tesla learned from the accidents and they iterated. First, they deployed a software improvement that raises the chassis of the car slightly when you're driving at highway speed. Then, they started adding titanium shields to the underside of their cars. The net result is that 2 extremely rare accidents made all of Tesla's cars safer and more durable. All the units learned from one mistake. This is a basic principle of resilience, and it applies to organizations just as much as products. All of the units should learn from every mistake. One of Jawbone's maker values is that we fail openly. It's really pretty cool when your hardware team and your software team can collaborate to fix the same bug, or when your supply chain can learn from feedback at the customer service desk. It makes you more resilient, it makes you more trusting, it helps build accountability. It makes for a really resilient organization on top of resilient products. Okay, that's a lot of ideas, short amount of time, let's recap. Resilience is toughness through flexibility. The best way to build resilient things is to go home and break something. Hire people who like to push red buttons, learn to iterate in smartware, make sure that all the units learn from every mistake. I'm Abe Gong. Thank you for your time. Can't wait to continue the conversation later.